When it comes to Nirvana, many of their songs have been known by multiple names, but there's one song in particular where this has caused a certain amount of confusion. The song Sappy was originally released as verse, chorus, verse. However, there is a completely different song also titled verse, chorus, verse. And so this has caused some confusion over the years. I'm going to go more into detail about this at the end of this video, but first, I want to show you a clip from one of my interviews with Jack Endino where he talks about this himself.
When it comes to Sappy, from what I understand, Sappy got listed as verse, chorus, verse. Like there was some kind of a confusion there. Do you know what I'm referring to? Like what happened?
Yeah, they recorded it. The last recording session they did with Chad Channing was an odd one because they specifically called me up and booked a session just to record that one song. And they spent almost 2 days just working on Sappy. And it wasn't the most efficient use of the 2 days, but that's what we did. And this was well after Bleach. Somewhere it says where that was recorded. I don't remember the exact dates. And that version of Sappy was never actually released except on the Best of the Box set single CD. They put that version of Sappy on there. And it's not a particularly great version of Sappy, I think. The best version, I think, is the version that was recorded as an outtake from the In Utero sessions that I believe is the definitive version of Sappy. Now, when they recorded it with me, they called it Sappy. But there's some confusion about it being called verse, chorus, verse. But there's actually a song that's an outtake from Nevermind that they referred to as verse, chorus, verse at that time, which is a completely different song. And again, it got used on somewhere, the box set or Nevermind Deluxe or something. And there's a few live recordings of it. The vocals are kind of gibberish. I don't know the real title of it because I don't know if Kurt ever settled on a title. It's known as verse, chorus, verse now. Kurt would reuse titles like that because it's a generic title, basically.
Yeah.
It's like calling it The Slow One. You know what I mean? That could apply to a number of songs, why you haven't figured out what the lyrics are.
Although Sappy was not released on any of Nirvana's studio records, Sappy is actually one of Kurt Cobain's older songs. The earliest known recording of the song is a home demo Kurt made back in the late 80s. Though Sappy was not released on any of Nirvana's studio records, it is on the 2013 In Utero Deluxe edition, so in a sense you could argue that it technically does appear on a studio record, but it doesn't appear on In Utero originally. It was recorded by Steve Albini during the In Utero sessions, but ultimately it did not appear on the record. Steve Albini himself has stated that he was surprised Sappy did not appear on In Utero, noting that he thinks it's a pretty good song. At one point, the song was proposed to be the 12th song on the record, right before the final track, All Apologies. The Steve Albini recording of Sappy would originally be released on October 26, 1993, as part of the AIDS benefit compilation record, No Alternative. Though on No Alternative, the song is titled Verse, Chorus, Verse. There is another entirely different Nirvana song, also called Verse, Chorus, Verse, so for that reason, there is confusion at times between Sappy and the other song, Verse, Chorus, Verse. To add to the confusion, Sappy has been known by 3 names: Sappy, Verse, Chorus, Verse, and Sad. Verse, Chorus, Verse was also considered at one point as the potential title for Nirvana's third studio record, the record that ultimately was named In Utero. One of the interesting things about Sappy is that the 3 producers who recorded Nirvana's 3 studio albums, Jack Endino, Butch Vig, and Steve Albini, each did their own recording of the song with the band. Jack Endino's recording from January of 1990 was released on the Sliver The Best of the Box compilation. Butch Vig's recording from April of 1990 was released on the Nevermind Deluxe edition, and Steve Albini's version was released on In Utero Deluxe, No Alternative, and With the Lights Out. The home demo Kurt recorded of the song was released as part of the Montage of Hex soundtrack. So there are a few different versions of Sappy out there, and at some point, there could possibly be at least one more version of it released. A second Butch Vig recording of Sappy took place during the Nevermind sessions in 1991, but as of the time of this recording in 2020, that version has not yet been released. So who knows, guys, maybe at some point down the road, we may hear a new version of Sappy. In the meantime, if you guys like what you see, make sure to subscribe for more. Lots more to come. Thanks for watching.